Grainne, good morning.
Good morning, Neil.
I was fascinated by your email. You said, I attended your doctor with a pain in the side. Your doctor examined it, and then he said he didn't want to send you to the A&E because you were fat. He used the word fat, and you took exception to being called fat. Is that it?
I didn't take exception. I think it was afterwards when I was thinking about it. I was, oh my God, did I really sit there and take that? It was only afterwards I kind of realised what he had said.
And was he making the point that he didn't want to send you there because fat people don't do well with COVID-19 in a hospital setting? Explain his logic.
He just said what he said. He said fat people don't do well with COVID-19, and he asked me, did I have my jab? And I said no, which I haven't. And he just said, well, Boris Johnson is fat. He didn't do well with COVID.
And it's the use of the word fat by the doctor that later on upset you. You kind of said to yourself, why did I sit there and take it, is it?
Well, I was with my mother. My mother came with me. And came home, and I was telling my husband, and I was actually repeating it. It sounds desperate. I work in healthcare, and you have to have some bit of bedside manner. You can't be using the word fat. Now, I'm not in denial. I'm overweight.
Yeah.
But I'd never say fat to somebody. I just thought it was highly inappropriate.
Do you think that he should have used, was it he or she? That he should have used the word overweight as opposed to the word fat?
Yeah. And even if he said, look, you're a bit obese, I would take that. No problem. But I think it's the word fat. And then saying about Boris Johnson as well, that he didn't do well. I was like, is he comparing me to Boris Johnson?
I think was he making the Boris Johnson comparison because he got knocked for six being overweight, as you would say, and getting COVID? Was that the point he was trying to make?
Yeah, I think so, but it just didn't come across that well.
So the word fat, is that an acceptable word anymore for people, I wonder?
I'm not sure. I'm not in denial that I'm a bit overweight, but I suppose taking being called the word fat, it threw me afterwards. I was like, a bit of bedside manner wouldn't go amiss with him.
Okay. Do you think that it might, though, at the same time, give you maybe the jolt that you need to lose some weight?
Well, I have other healthcare problems, and I suffer with agoraphobia, which means I find it hard to leave the house.
Oh.
So I know I put up weight with the last 12 months.
Have you suffered with that a long time?
I was only diagnosed in the last 2 years and a half.
And did it just come out of nowhere at all?
I had panic attacks for years since my first pregnancy. But looking back in it now, you can see things in my childhood that brought it up.
That's so sad. So do you get out at all, or do you just get short spells outside, or can you go shopping? Can you go on holidays? Can you go visiting friends? I mean, not so much of that in the last year, I know, but you know what I mean?
I was doing CBT therapy last year and up until January, but we put a pause in it with COVID. With CBT therapy, the point is to walk into a shop, look at just say coffee, walk out. Then the next time go in, pick up the coffee, walk out. Then the third time you'd go in and you'd actually try and buy the coffee.
Wow.
It's a slow process. It's all repetitive behaviour. So we just put a pause on it because you can't just go into a supermarket today.
So that came up in the conversation with the doctor as well, where you had to tell him he knew you had agoraphobia, did he? That you had a fear of leaving the house?
I just said, look, I found that's why my mother was with me. I said, look, I have agoraphobia. Can she come in with me and just be with me? So they said, yeah, no problem, because now they're very strict nowadays. You can't just go in with anybody. So
did he make some remark about the shopping, though?
He said, do you go to the marketplace? And, oh no, he said, you don't go to the marketplace, do you? And I said, no. I said, my husband does the shopping. And he said, oh, that's good. He said, otherwise you'd need St. Vincent de Paul.
What did that mean?
I don't know. I don't know what he meant by it.
That, in the sense that if you couldn't go out to get food would have to be delivered into you, obviously, by Vincent de Paul. But was he trying to make some kind of a joke about that or something, do you think?
See, I don't know, because like he had a mask and everything on, so it was hard to tell if he was trying to be humorous or not. But I just said, all right. I said, my husband does the shopping and grind like.
The question here really is whether or not being called fat is an acceptable term anymore to describe somebody's weight, or whether some people deem it to be a term of abuse.
Yeah, I don't know if it's abuse, but I think a bit of bedside manner wouldn't have went amiss. Especially, I was up there in pain. He knew before I went in there that I suffer with my mental health. You don't need to be insulted on top of that situation.
Yeah. Have you ever tried to lose any of the weight? Do you mind me asking?
Like, I've had 2 children, and I'm starting to go out now. So yeah, I have a treadmill in the sitting room. So yeah, I kind of do my own little bit as much as I can. Yeah,
and does that involve changing diet? Treadmills are fine, but they're useless if you don't change the food that you eat, you know?
Yeah, like I had like the same, I eggs and toast every morning for breakfast. And I think my thing personally is snacking. It's desperate.
Snacking, yeah. Snacking all the wrong stuff.
Yeah. Whereas other than that, look, it is what it is with my weight. I look after that myself in my own time when my head is round to it. But I don't need to be insulted by a doctor. Okay. You deem it to be insulting. I mean, for what it's worth, I think it can make a huge difference. A bit of tough love, you know. I have no particular problem with the word fat. I know that vocabularies have changed very much over the years, and many people think that it's an unacceptable word. But personally, for me, when I was called fat, you know, or an Oompa Loompa or a Michelin Man or stuff like that, it made me sit up and take notice of myself and kick me into gear, you know. If people were saying, Ash, you're grand, or Aaron, no, sure, it's only a couple of pounds. Like, for me, it made a huge difference, the word fat. When I got into the gym and Tony Martin started using the word fat with me, and another word that doesn't rhymes with fat, but it starts with F. Then I started to get really serious about a weight loss plan. Do you know what I mean? See, that doesn't bother me. Like, the word fat in general doesn't. It kind of means nothing to me, really. Yes, I am overweight, but I think the word fat shouldn't be used by a professional. Okay,
good point. Hold on there, because I want to get some text on this. Text 0868 104 106. Orla, good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Okay, the word fat, is it an acceptable word to use anymore?
It depends on who it comes from. If it's from family, fair enough. I got told I was too fat for a back operation.
Well, I'm not saying that somebody walking down the street and you know...
Family can tell you you're fat.
I'm not saying that a complete stranger should come up to someone and say, would you get out of the way, you fat... whatever.
No. Family could say it nicely to you. But the professional said it to me, and like you, it did the reverse.
How's that?
I walked the road, I lost the weight, I lost 3.5 stone, I walked the road, I had the back operation last February, and it was the best thing that I ever had.
And how much of that had to do with the fact that the surgeon said you were fat?
All of it. Determination.
Explain.
I couldn't even believe I took it from him, because I'm not a quiet person. And I couldn't believe I came out of the surgeon and I was the cheek of him. 1 minute now, I know I am fat. I've been sick for years and I got over that. I got over cancer. Now I had a back operation to face. And the cheek of him, he didn't live my life. And then it went the reverse the following day. Right, Orla, get this going now, girl.
That's amazing. Yes.
And off I went.
It slowly sunk in
It's just thinking.
Yeah.
On the think positive. On the other side, right, I need his back operation. I need him to do it. What am I going to do? I'm going to lose the weight. And I did. And I'm out walking the roads every day since.
I suppose what I'm trying to endeavour to find out is if calling somebody or labelling somebody as being fat as opposed to obese or in need to lose a few pounds can actually make a huge difference to drive them on.
To drive them on. I know it's hard to hear it. I came out, I was like a bun. I couldn't believe cheek of him saying that to me. Sure, he must have been true. Tell him back. And then I went, right, I sort you, I'll lose the weight and you better do my arm. And he did. And I always remember the morning I went in for the surgery before they knock you out. I said, don't ever call someone fat against him. And I was knocked out and I got the after.
But why did you say that to him though? By labelling you as being fat as opposed to obese made you change?
Yeah, but that was me. If you're strong, you're going to do the opposite. I'm bold. But if you're a quiet person, you're going to go into yourself and eat more. You're going to go the opposite way.
Okay.
It depends on the person. Totally depends on the person.
Maybe doctors say it on purpose to motivate people. My point, and I've made it already, is that would you have been as successful if he said you were obese?
No, I don't think so. I think it was the word fat that hit the trigger with me. I think it was the word fat, definitely. Okay.
So you can relate to what Grainne is saying when she went to the doctor and he called her fat.
Totally can relate. But think the positive and think of your health. That's the way to do it.
All right, guys, appreciate that.
Neil Prendeville, the voice of Cork. Weekdays 9 to midday, Cork's Red FM. Red FM.